Hey everyone, this will be my second video tonight, the last one before I turn into a pumpkin. I do apologize in advance for my voice. I'm getting a bit of a cold, but I've been reading a lot lately about this stuff to do with National Network of Fusion Centers. If you guys have no idea what that is, you can actually see, I don't know how in focus it'll be on the computer, but where I'm looking at right here, this is the Department of Homeland Security. This is not some opinionated website with a bunch of rhetoric. This is an actual government website. You can actually go to www.dhs.gov and play around on the website, and you can actually see what I'm talking about and what I'm looking at. Basically, I'm going to read a couple things that are on the website and then just let you guys bounce around ideas, talk about it, discuss it, whatever you want to do. It says National Network of Fusion Centers, state and major urban fusion centers serve as local points within the state and local environment for receipt, analysis, gathering, and sharing of threat-related information between the federal government, state, local, tribal, territorial, and private sector partners. Located in state and major urban areas throughout the country, fusion centers are uniquely situated to empower frontline law enforcement, public safety, fire service, emergency response, public health, CIKR protection, and private sector security personnel to understand local implications of national intelligence, thus enabling local officials to better protect their communities. They provide interdisciplinary expertise and situational awareness to inform decision-making at all levels of government. They conduct analysis and facilitate information sharing while assisting law enforcement and homeland security partners in preventing, protecting against, and responding to crime and terrorism. It also says that fusion centers are owned and operated by state and local entities with support from federal partners in a form of deployed personnel, training, technical assistance, exercise support, security clearances, connectivity to federal systems, technology, and grant funding. Basically, a lot of big words to, I guess, I call it goobity-gop, as my dad does, to basically say that fusion centers are located throughout the nation. They are federally funded but not federally headed. The Department of Homeland Security gives out and disperses the money that fuels these fires, but once these fires are going, they really have no one to pull in the reins on them. If you don't believe me on that and you think I'm talking from a place of no knowledge, do your own research. I have researched it extensively. I know what I'm talking about. The reason that to me these are very scary is because basically if you go on the internet and you just do your own research, look on YouTube, look on, really just Google it. Google it and look on both sides of the subject. You're going to have some wackos that are conspiracy theorists, and I'm not saying they're wackos because they're crazy. They just kind of connect the dots to too many unrelated events to try to make it interconnect together to say that the government's like trying to kill people and all kind of stuff. I don't know about all that. The government does have its own agenda, believe me. And if the government doesn't fear its people anymore, then the government has gotten out of control. Personally, I feel like the fusion centers are a very big step in the wrong direction, people. And the reason I feel that way is because fusion centers are information collection centers. It is basically where they collect information from the FBI, the CIA, all of these other federal agencies, as well as local bureaus and agencies, and they make watch lists of regular people. If you go to these places and you just so happen to be on one of their lists, like you can walk into a fusion center by all means, it just looks like a regular building. But if you go inside and you happen to be on a watch list, they will not give you information. It's very strange. All of this also ties into everything post 9/11. A lot of the laws that were passed supposedly for, and I'm sorry, this is my personal opinions here, supposedly for the protection of us and the protection of national security, although the government protects us by taking away our civil liberties, by controlling and filtering our civil liberties, which are given to us by, the Constitution of the United States of America, the Bill of Rights, the amendments, whatever. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm perfectly savvy and I know everything by heart, but I know that there are certain civil liberties that we are innately given by our Constitution and by our government, and our government takes those away and tells us that the reason they're taking them away is to provide us with security, but we're not able to have any freedoms. That's kind of counterproductive if you ask me. It's kind of the same reason why I think that the right to bear arms needs to stay in place. Now, I do think that guns need to be regulated, but I do not think that they need to be taken away, the right to bear arms. The reason being is, if people do not have weapons and the right to protect themselves, who's going to protect them from the government? That may sound kind of crazy and anarchy, like I'm going to go and blow up the White House or something like that, but it's not that kind of mentality at all. It's the mentality that basically says that the only kind of government that can function and be for the people is a government that fears its people. If the government doesn't fear its people, then the government is out of control. It has no one to answer to. And I'm really sick and tired of hearing people say stuff like about these fusion centers, about, well, it's not going to get out of control because people won't let it. If every person has that attitude, then what people aren't going to let it, because no one's going to be taking any action. No one's going to be doing anything, talking about it, voting on it, writing legislators about it, or doing a daggone thing. So nothing is going to get done. So therefore, you're doing exactly what the government wants you to do. You're playing into the spoon-fed mentality that just sit back, other people are going to do something about it. But the truth is everybody thinks that way. No one does anything. Only a handful of people do. And the voting population just sits back like couch potatoes and lets the government take more and more of your civil liberties away and take more and more control. People, if you don't believe what I'm saying or what I'm talking about, and you think I'm just some crazy chick on a cell phone camera spouting her opinions and ideals from nowhere, go to the Department of Homeland Security's website yourself. Research, read. They tell you themselves what these things are and that they're collecting information, and it's also for private sector. It is not all just for the government. And these people are in charge of implementing martial law if something were to happen in a case of a national emergency or something of that nature. A good example, guys, anyone who's from the Gulf Coast can tell you this. I am from the Gulf Coast. I was directly affected by Hurricane Katrina. My brother was in the National Guard and actually had to go on duty over in New Orleans when martial law was implemented right after post-Hurricane Katrina. It was absolute chaos and madness, and people had zero rights. Now, you might say, well, that had to be done. It was a national state of emergency. There's two sides to every story, people. I always remember that. Always think about that. You're giving up your freedoms for protection. There's something wrong with that picture. There is something very wrong with that picture. Just think for yourself, have a mind of your own, and do not be a couch potato, for Christ's sake. Get out, vote, make your voice heard, be heard, and if you don't like something, write your legislators about it. You can go to the Department of now I'm losing my train of thought. Homeland Security's website, they have contact numbers where you can ask questions. And I guarantee you that if you start asking questions and you start going against the status quo, they're going to put you on a friggin' watch list. You think I'm joking? Try it and see what happens. It's crazy. Anyway, guys, just let me know what you think. Go on the website, look for yourself, see what you think. I read to you basically just the first half of what they provide. They go into talking about enhancing department resources to support these fusion centers, expanding nationwide suspicious activity reporting. People, this is crazy. I mean, it's some crazy stuff in here, believe me. Anyway, guys, just watch this video. Let me know what you think. I would love for you guys to tab it, let other people see it, hear their opinions. It's not to get me a bunch of views, because I am not a big videoer. You guys can look. I've only got like 8 or 9 videos on. It's just that this kind of stuff lately has been really, I've been doing a lot more research into it, and it's really just been, I'm looking at more and more things, and it's just really disturbing me. And I am politically active, and I am a college student. I'm not some uneducated dumb person who's sitting back just spouting ideals that I know nothing about. I've got 4 years under my belt, and I'm working towards more school-wise, and I've got family that's military. I do consider myself to be patriotic in the sense that I am proud to be an American. But it scares me when the United States government is getting so much control that they have no one controlling them at this point in our world history. It's just very scary. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. I appreciate you watching the video. I appreciate you taking the time, and let me know what you think. Thanks.